So we are on slide 10. The vice president will be the president of the Senate. And that position has come to mean less and less as time has gone by. The vice president maybe is in the Senate for a day or two now, if that, during the week. I mean, she doesn't vote unless there's a 50-50 tie, and in this Senate with the 50-50 split, Mrs. Harris is in there quite often. So the Senate also chooses their officers, their other officers. There is a president pro tempore, and in the absence of the vice president, or when he shall exercise the office of the president of the United States. So when the vice president's gone, or when the vice president is acting as president, which does happen if the president, and the presidents tend to be older men, if the presidents have to go under, say, general anesthesia, the vice president is running the show for a few hours at least, until the president can start making decisions again. So the Senate has the sole power to try all impeachments. So the House, as we discovered in our group activities, comes up with a bill that states the things that the president or any other federal official, there was a Supreme Court justice on the sheet. I gave you also that they did wrong, that the House is unhappy with, feels might have violated their oath to uphold the Constitution. They send that bill to the Senate after it's passed by a majority vote, and the Senate then tries the case acting as jurors. The Chief Justice presides at a hearing when the president is tried. If the Senate sits to impeach, they're all under oath to take it seriously, listen to the truth, determine what the truth is. Now, does that happen? Well, I don't know. Everything is so along party lines these days. If it's a Republican and it's a Republican Senate, well, I don't know. Only 3 Republicans voted to confirm Judge Jackson, so I don't know if we can get past the partisanship. If you have a D next to your name, you get off if it's a Democratic-controlled Senate. If you have an R next to your name, you get off if it's Republican-controlled Senate. So 2/3 of members of the Senate are required to convict. And a conviction, what do you think a conviction means? If you are convicted and impeached, what does that entail? So when I was your age, I thought it meant something different than it did. You both mumbled. I couldn't. Vanessa, they lose their job. Cadence,
Proven guilty.
They're proven guilty. Okay. That's about it. That's about right. They only lose their job. They are disqualified from holding any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. So that's it. If a president, say if in the first Trump impeachment trial, if he had been found guilty of whatever those crimes were, he would have just been removed as president of the United States and we would have had President Pence. That's it. It would be up to law enforcement, the FBI or whatever, after he had been removed, Donald Trump that is, from office, to pursue any criminal actions. That's all. Cadence?
That's what I was going to ask, is what's the next step? Like, if a president did something that's obviously like a crime.
Yeah, that would be the next step. So if the FBI or whatever organization had felt disinclined to pursue President Trump after he had been removed from office, hypothetically, then that would have been it. Yes?
Is there what can a president not do in the trial of being impeached? Like, are there any powers that are like cut off from him?
No.
No? So
No.
he has full power during the trial and everything?
He's still president, yeah. And all that entails. Yeah, he's not ever present in the Senate.
Who is next? Like, if Pence was impeached too, who would be after him?
The Speaker of the House, in this case, Nancy Pelosi. Or in that case, too, she's been Speaker of the House for a long time now. Yeah, the party convicted will be liable and subject to the law. So the FBI or whatever could go after them for any crimes or perceived crimes committed.
Nancy Democratic.
Yes. Yes.
She's the one who did the little at Trump.
They're all too old to be up there. So, Section 4, the states will decide where, when, and how senators and representatives are elected. And again, be judicious in what you write down. I've basically just copied and pasted the Constitution onto this slideshow. It's a little more important that you listen than write. It's just my opinion. I mean, however the spirit moves you to take notes, do it that way. But anyway, yeah, so the states decide where, when, and how senators and representatives are elected. That is it a reserved power or an enumerated power? Reserved, yes. You might see federalism pop up on the final. Just saying. Yeah. It's been like the building block of the whole course. You might be asked to pick out 4 or 5 enumerated powers, 2 or 3 concurrent powers. I would remember the federalism things that we went over. So Congress, if it wants, can alter those regulations, except as to the places of choosing senators. That used to be a bigger deal. The state legislatures, if you remember from last week, used to be in charge of saying who the senators were before they became popularly elected. And Congress also they have to gather at least once annually. You imagine if Congress did that now. Maybe less government is the answer. Maybe if Congress met only once a year, we might be in a better place. I don't know. It's a thought. Oh, they meet, yeah. Too often.
Isn't the whole thing that like they keep it going so that the president doesn't have the power to fill those spots? Weren't you talking about?
Yes. You're asking about
Are they like they go in and then don't
pro forma sessions,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's one technique. Pro forma sessions that the Senate uses specifically to stop the president from making recess appointments. Yeah, that is maybe one reason why they don't. Yeah, you're right. So each house shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members. And a majority of membership in a house will constitute a quorum by which to conduct business. So if 51 senators are present, this is a quorum. If 218 representatives are present, this is a quorum. You can conduct business on that basis. Now, should you conduct business on that basis if you only have half plus one of a congressional body? Maybe. Yeah. And the Democrats have the majority in the House. Either it really doesn't matter. They don't need Republican support to get anything through at the moment. And a smaller number may adjourn from day to day and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under such penalties as each house may provide. So the president of the Senate, say, is empowered to, and the vice president is the president of the Senate, but they'll take turns so senators can learn parliamentary procedure and all that, because that isn't, something that we all learn in school. So the presiding officer of the Senate can issue warrants of arrest for members. And this happened on one occasion for Senator Robert Packard, excuse me. He did not want to vote on a bill during the Reagan administration. So he left, and because he left, they had the absence of a quorum. They couldn't continue business. So the presiding officer issued a warrant for his arrest and the rest of some other members as well.
I was gonna say, why did they just single him out like that?
Well, that's a good question. But he was one of a few.
Why did so many people not show up?
It was it was, let me just pull up the full story. I can do that.
They're getting paid a lot for this and they just don't show up?
Yeah.
That's